Oh hey, welcome back to some more Sonic Colors. You can just call me Stent. I will admit, just before we get into this, as you can probably tell, I'm not exactly been in the best of moods, especially if you've seen near the end of my stream yesterday with regards to Final Mix. Just generally not been in the best of moods recently. It's not anything to do with the streams in general, just outside stuff. Hopefully playing this will cheer me up a little bit, because I feel as though I could do a bit at the moment, but anyways. We have 3 planets which are basically opened up to us at this point, that being Planet Wisp. I forget the Aquatic Resort, you can tell it's been a while. I can't even remember the name of this particular one. Aquarium Park, that was it. And Asteroid Coaster. You're incentivized to do these basically in order, but you can technically go to whichever one you want, but so I'm going to make use of that. And just pop into Asteroid Coaster real quick. We're gonna be doing this last still, just want to do this one particular mission so that we can get ourselves a new Wisp right off the bat. Again, technically designed for you to, let me just... Okay, I'm assuming I'm on the right channel for this, just, again, having to do this all from my TV. And here we are on what looks like the most Nickelodeon level ever to Nickelodeon. It's Planet Drool where kids rule, as they say. Just... I did remember watching along with a old commentary for Adventures of Sharkboy and Lava Girl at one point, and just remembering how bizarre that whole experience is. It's like, I heard... There's a whole sense of it being basically just bad. Oh, here's our next Wisp. Which just sounds like a dog barking into a microphone. Frenzy! Basically, you just run into stuff and eat everything in sight. It's basically Pac-Man. Isn't this amazing, everyone? Look how much we can just cleave through everything. This is probably going to explain all those blocks that we couldn't access in, like, Sweet Mountain and whatnot. But anyways, Sharkboy and Lava Girl. Just remember that whole thing just looking the most bizarre thing. Oh. Again, it's been a little bit. Just having to renegotiate with the Wiimote controls. Hopefully this won't be a sign of things to come. Is it one of the one times where actually the on-screen prompts actually help me out here, just because it's been so long and I don't tend to visit this game all that often. Just gotta remember to waggle my Wiimote whenever I actually want to use it. It's like, we gotta justify using this whole motion control things one way or another, even though most people would just rather use this with a controller. I know I certainly would. Not sure you saw that there, just Sonic struggling to get into and roller coaster by the looks of it, even though he arguably is a bit of a roller coaster himself. There we go, just... Now we get to the, suppose interesting bit. Anyway, Sharkboy and Lava Girl. I remember that one just being so bizarre, and honestly, nowadays I can't help but feel a little bit more respect for it, especially given movies nowadays. It's just... It's something you're probably going to hear me say a lot this time around, just sincerity. It's just... You can say it's absolutely bizarre and nonsensical, but it is sincere, and I can't help but respect it for that. I will admit, this whole planet bit really brings back memories of just Rogue Squadron, just blasting through asteroid fields. It just makes you think, oh yeah, speaking of Star Wars, the we're getting up to the, I believe, 10th anniversary of The Force Awakens next week, which is kind of crazy to believe. It's already been 10 years since The Force Awakens. It's just I don't know, it just feels as though not much has happened at that time. Obviously a lot has, it just doesn't feel that way. At least to me. Oh, I think we're already at the end of this particular level. Yeah, these do tend to go quite swiftly. There we go. And look at that. That's a cool JPEG in the background there. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Look at all the green lava. That's where they get the Nickelodeon gack. They refine it into something which isn't molten. At least that's what it looks like to me. And with that, I believe, yeah, we get Frenzy Wisp, which we can use for all the levels, so we get to use it basically wherever we want. And thankfully, no cutscenes played here, so I could just leave and go back to where I'm supposed to go. So we can get, technically, I think the final Wisp. I think there's only like 7. Yeah, you can basically just get them at this point. And here we are with Planet Wisp, the final level of Sonic Generations. Isn't it so pretty and beautiful? Look at this bit rate. I mean, at least here it makes a little bit more sense because there's all this stuff on the screen. And it's like, oh look, it's the most Sonic level ever because it's all nature stuff. It's getting corrupted and polluted by the Robo-Man. Look at this. It's the environmental message that Sonic is always championing, made and personified into a level for the first time since, like, the classics, I guess. Because you can never stop talking about the classics, can you? Well, at least when there is a way for you to get up there normally, but guessing we're not going to get that red ring. I do at least appreciate just, again, a lot of the detail they put into all the variants of the egg pawns here. Generally one of my favorite badniks still. I'm fairly certain a lot of people are going to make jokes about the purple water and how it's basically just lean. Oh, here we go, we got the pink wisp. Our last one, technically, and it's just like, oh gee, I do definitely miss the spin dash. Well, here it is. Here's your spin dash and your wall climbing, so we can justify not having Knuckles in this game. I mean, it's not like you need much help for that, considering arguably Knuckles needs a whole bunch of justification to show up normally. But yeah, I think alongside the Hover Wisp, this is one of those key examples of a Wisp just taking away parts of Sonic's core moveset and reselling them back to you as just, look at this kooky mechanic we got. Isn't this so wild and kooky and interesting? Look, we got the spin dash back. Even though Sonic already had it in basically every game up to Unleashed. Just thinking about that, that's a good question actually. Now when I think about it, going to be interesting looking into this when I eventually get to playing Colors on the DS. Does it actually feature the Spanish? Also, look over there. It's the chains. It's just like Little Planet. You remember? It's just like the intro to Sonic CD. It's just, you like Sonic CD's intro. That must mean you like this game too. Isn't that how it works? That's just the logic that I tend to feel with a lot of these old with games at this point in this series. I mean, that's pretty much just what they were. Just, well, fantastic. Already proven myself to be the best Sonic Colors player in the entire universe at this rate. Alright, I think we're already reaching the end of this level too, so I guess we'll just go up here. Get myself some more power up. Just commentate over everything I'm saying. Oh. Okay, I guess we're here now. Oh, the red ring. I knew there was something up here. Can I grab this? Just, yeah, from what I remember, Spike Wisp is kind of awkward to control it. Oh, there we go. That felt a lot shorter than it turned out to be. Just 3.5 minutes of what it would have been Maybe we're just used to the level length in generations at this rate. Today on OSHA violations. Yep. Because apparently Robotnik has never had any qualms about health and safety. Again, the sort of person who... I mean, saying that, if you look at the thing with the piston there, which Sonic is looking at, that actually has guardrails. It has guardrails, unlike Mako reactors and whatnot. I guess welcome back. We were just making our way through Plant Wisp. Imagine if there was a Plant Wisp. It would probably just be the plant power in Superstars, which... Thinking about it, just the whole Emerald power thing in Superstars really just feels like a rebranding of the Wisp powers from this game, except... Of course, oh, it's these fellas again. You gotta love these guys. And their very slow-moving spike attacks. Like, yeah, Colors is still a game which is still quite likable, despite me and other people over the years having a lot more problems with it over time. I mean, so far, most of my issues are just me trying to get used to the Wiimote controls, just for not being used to them, as opposed to just a controller that humans use. Oh, we actually get to use the Frenzy Wisp here. Let's try it out. Waka 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 waka. Oh, I didn't think I'd actually get one. Let's see what's up. Let's see what's up over there. Let's see what's up over there. 'Cause, again, it's been a little bit. Seems like a secret passageway to... Oh! Another one-up, and I don't get why he made those things which just dispense rings. It just seems counterintuitive, if you ask me. I'll admit, though, definitely getting quite a few red rings this time around. Is nice. Just... Okay, just walk very slow. Yeah, there it is. Oh, look, it's just like Sonic CD. It's the chains. You remember? You remember? Man. Man. Sometimes I wish I could forget. Oh, cut. Nope, no cutscenes. Just... Thought we'd be getting cutscenes at this point, but I guess it's not until, like, at this point. Guessing now's the time where it's like, oh, look at this. We're actually expanding and having you use different wisps in all the levels. Isn't that kooky and interesting and fun? I mean, I guess it's one way to spruce up variety, but even still... Still not the biggest fan of the implementation of the wisps. I mean, it's still... arguably better than how... Oh. I guess we're going down here now. Okay. Okay. Whatever you say, game. Oh, wait. Okay, that works. Wow, I didn't even need to do that here. Or did I? It's almost as though I played this game before. Look at that. This way, I'm guessing? This way? Yep. Gotta make use of those Q powers. Even though I can't help but wonder, how am I supposed to get up? Oh, like that. It's like, I'm not used to Sonic having a double jump which isn't completely anemic. You'll have to forgive me on that. Ah. Okay then. I guess we're going this way. Oh. I guess we're going this way. That is, of course, if I can find my way back to the level. Again, it's been a little bit. There's another Sonic game that isn't a Sonic game called Knights. Yeah, I've definitely heard a lot about Knights over the years. I've just never had much opportunity to sit down and play it. I don't think it's necessarily my cup of tea, unfortunately, which is a shame, because I heard a lot of people saying a lot of good things about Knights. Oh, I guess we're going this way. Yep, over here. Across, does this really constitute level design, I gotta ask? Just, ah yes, just in a whole bunch of blocks over a bottomless pit. That's level design, surely. Ugh. Yeah, with regards to Knights, I do definitely feel kind of bad, because that was definitely, one that definitely felt more like a passion project to me, if I'm gonna be honest. Just... it's like Yuji Naka really seemed to like working on Knights, to the point where he basically just did it again for Balan Wonderworld, and we all know how that turned out. Just... really seemed that that was Yuji Naka's passion project back, you know, before all the, illegal crime behavior. I'll just say that much. All the insider trading. I'm guessing... yeah, this way. This way. Fantastic. Again, just... it really feels weird in the fact that... feels as though you could just stop in midair even when you don't intend to. It just... it doesn't feel good trying to do this whole double jumping business still. I mean, it's definitely better than Forces, but I can definitely see what Vel meant in the last color stream when it's like, maybe double jump shouldn't necessarily be a thing in Sonic's moveset. I mean, I'd definitely go for the drop dash. Me personally, but that's just me. We all have our personal preferences. Oh. Well, I guess I'll die. I guess I'll die. Can I please just... there we go. It's like you made this so much easier last time. And now it's just not. Man. You know what? You know what? I'm just gonna move on with the rest of the level. At least attempt to, because we're... yeah, I could definitely see that being kind of weird. Yes. I didn't think I'd be having so much trouble with this of all things. Just precision platforming. Anybody who thinks that Sonic should be about precision platforming needs to be sat down and told to play this level. Just like, are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? You wanna reconsider your answer? Because I don't think a lot of people would hold it against you if you did. You know, just exuding common sense. I'm at least hoping that we're going to be in a situation where I'm just stuck on list level for the majority of the stream, because I don't think anybody wants to see that. I mean, I certainly wouldn't. Okay, game, if you want to be like that, I'm just gonna get to the end. I'm not going to play your game with all your collectibles. I'm just going to... see, look at this. What is this? Oh, the ending was right there. Ah. Yeah, just get me out of that. Get me out of that. Whoever made that particular level probably shouldn't be making video games. Act 4. where we get the good music back. And like, ooh, we're getting into more of the industrial stuff. Ooh, isn't this just is just like in Sonic CD? Yeah, I think you get the point already. Just, I feel a lot of this stuff would feel a little bit more magical to me still if it wasn't for the fact that this entire aesthetic I saw constantly during Team Sonic Racing. It's like, oh yes, it's this level again for like the 17th time. Isn't it just so beautiful the 17th time around? It's like, no. Can we go somewhere else, please? It's like, no. I'm just like, no. I'm not even sure why I'm bothering with the red rings here, honestly. It doesn't seem like there's much of a point for me to do so in this particular venture. Considering I could potentially just show off the rewards you get for red rings anyway, because I remember I have a complete save file on this on the Wii U. So it's just like, why? It's like I could just do whatever I want and it won't matter. I could play as terribly as I want. Notice the Laser Wisp is also kind of forgiving at points. It's kind of... Oh. I think I just screwed myself a little bit there. Just, Yep. Yep. All the way back here again. Gotta go for all this again. It's like, with stuff like this, I'm not entirely certain as to why people like Planet Wisp so much, outside of purely from this aesthetic standpoint, because... I mean, sure, it looks nice, but then again, so does Starlight Carnival. So does Tropical Resort, and those levels don't nearly have platforming challenges this egregious. They're just kind of boggling in a way that people just seem to like this level so much, even though it doesn't necessarily make all that much sense to me. Does this platform move? No, it doesn't move. Alright, I guess it meant for me to go this way. Oh, the goal ring was right there as well. It's like the game is constantly tormenting me. Yeah, just move on. Oh, finally, cutscene.
You know, as alien as this place is, there's something very Eggman-ish.
No, you don't say. It's like I couldn't have possibly seen that from all the stuff that I'm seeing right in front of me, with all the red architecture and the work egg pawns.
Looks like the theme of his part.
Oh, thank you for just instilling the fact that you're evil, Robotnik. It's like I totally bought the fact that you'd shown remorse for your actions and whatnot. Ah yes, as opposed to just holding the entire planet at gunpoint. That's definitely not too low enough for Robotnik.
You getting any of that?
Yeah, they're totally freaked out.
It's like you couldn't possibly have tell. I couldn't possibly tell from that body language.
Oh no, wait, scratch that. They're in shock because of their planet's strange transformation and having been dragged across the universe.
Oh, like with Davros.
He kidnapped the whole planet. How did somebody do that?
They're saying it was either ice cream or a tractor beam.
Yeah, well, I'm going to
Look at my invisible gun.
shooting out of those generators.
If it was, I would get one for back home.
Yeah, it does seem kind of odd, especially in the context of, you know, good Doctor Who back in the day. That, you know, Robotnik just opted for a huge tractor beam as opposed to the Dalek setting up this whole thing with just 27 planets and whatnot. It's just, I guess Robotnik is just a little bit more to the point, just using a comically large tractor beam with the Sonic CD chains. I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Alright, hopefully this level will be a little bit better. Oh, it's the blocks again. We all love the blocks. I mean, not really, but we're dealing with them anyway. Oh, I see you over there. Definitely nailed that. I suppose getting into a little bit more of the Star Wars stuff from earlier, considering, of course, you know, Force Awakens, 10th anniversary, 10 years of Disney Star Wars, and obviously there's the whole thing about, oh, there we go. Disney trilogy apologists being like, oh, you just wait till 10 years, you'll all be clamoring and loving the sequel trilogy more then. Of course, that never happened. That never happened. But I just find it so kind of surreal, honestly, that of all the series to have, in more recent times, just absolutely been just self-destructed and went into basically cultural irrelevance. I'm surprised that Sonic has held out better than Star Wars in that regard, considering, you know, just how big Star Wars is, and yet... I mean, obviously Sonic has never exactly been perfect, and obviously hasn't quite reached the highest highs that Star Wars used to get, but considering it's still around compared to the absolute state Star Wars is in, I personally can't help but feel there isn't really much that can be complained about. I mean, obviously criticism is important, but compared to stuff like Star Wars, the Sonic series is generally in a place where there's not much to complain about. In that it's, despite, you know, fan base notwithstanding, still quite in a fairly healthy spot. You know, it's got soon to be 4 movies which people generally like. It's got some games which quality-wise seem to be improving at least a little bit. I mean, thinking about it a little bit more... Oh. Okay, I guess we're going this way. Yeah, with regards to Shadgen, whilst obviously I can malign Flynn as much as I want, honestly, Shadgen is the first game in a while which I feel has had something which I feel the wider series at large has been missing basically since this game, honestly, and that's sincerity. I mentioned sincerity previously, and oh, thanks a bunch, cheap shots. But yeah, sincerity, just... I mean, obviously this game was the first to be all in on taking the stories less seriously and being all irreverent and whatnot. You know, all irreverent and, you know, self-deprecating and just like, oh, look how wacky and kooky we are. We know that we're in a series that does terrible games. Ooh. I mean, I'll probably get into this a little bit later, but honestly, I don't think this is the worst of it. I'll just say that much. I don't think this is the worst case of it. And there are definitely worse examples of this, mostly with Sonic. I think Boom is mostly just the main culprit, or the self-deprecating humor in the Sonic series. And it's definitely sort of a cold take, I know, but... doesn't make it any less true. Also doesn't help that I seem to be just finding ways of just making this go slower than it needs to. Oh, what's up here? What's up here? Where are we going, game? Where are you taking me? I don't want to go back here. You're just taking me back to where I was. Also, I keep forgetting that the Spike Whisk can also use the homing attack. Oh yeah, I think this is the big standout point. Just look at this. Part of me wants to say this is arguably the most original level out of the bunch, in that it doesn't take too many level cues from Unleashed as the other levels do, but I don't know. I could probably see a fair bit of Spagonia in here at the very least. Especially with all of the tight platforming, which I thought also sucked in Unleashed, gonna be honest. Arguably, I'd say even there was more egregious, since you didn't have the double jump. Whoa, look at that. And of course, the whole thing just, the platform just goes up when I need it most. Yep, I completely balked actually getting a good roll on this level. Lucky me. And, oh. Nice little way to end the level, it seems. And yep, I think that's all the Planet Wisp levels already. Just, blazing through them relatively quickly. Look at that, already at the boss fight. And not a single S rank. Even though we have... Anyways, let's just get into it. Let's just get into it. It's time for one of the more infamous lines in the game.
And there's the generator. It seems like these guys are getting harder and harder to find.
I'm not sure how. Considering it's just right by the big chain in the sky.
I know for a fact these guys are getting harder and harder to beat.
Please remember, all planets in Eggman's incredible interstellar amusement park are, as far as you know, wholly owned properties of Eggman Enterprises and its subsidiaries.
So is this how he's getting all the money for his battleships and whatnot?
Shutting down of generators is strictly prohibited. Thank you.
Eggman, I am going to save this planet, and I am going to free these aliens. No copyright law in the universe is going to stop me. You can save a lot of time and broken robots.
This game needs a better writer. I mean, you say that. You say that. Now I can't help but wonder what exactly a Flynn rewrite of this game would look like, given how Generations went. Would it actually be that much better? Because, given how the Generations rewrite went, I can't say that I'm all that confident, to be honest. Maybe it's just me, but needless to say, I wasn't exactly one of those that was, all too fond of the Generations rewrites. Oh, look at this, he actually has lazy ears, look at that. I think the main figure's just, oh. I mean, I guess this works. I mean, fairly certain you can still beat this boss relatively quickly, I'm just bad. I'm just bad at the Hedgehog. There we go. Still 3 hits, just... I don't get why these particular Ferris wheel bosses are down so quickly compared to the others. It's just bizarre to me. Remember in the DS version of the boss fight? I can certainly imagine. I heard a lot of good things about the DS version. Oh, look at that, we actually... Our second S rank in the entire game, look at that. It's probably the only other one we're gonna get.
Wow, sometimes I even impress myself. For a second there, I wasn't sure I was going to pull it off. No, who am I kidding? We both knew how.
Wow, aren't we so funny and kooky? Isn't this so much better than Black Knight and its actual things that you can take away from it in terms of life lessons and whatnot? Isn't this just so funny?
Absolutely.
So, we can just forget about the whole talking to dead robots thing, right?
Nope.
I knew you'd say that.
Oh, come on. I've seen you save the day a lot of times, but I've never seen you talk to a pile of metal.
Touche.
I mean, that's debatable. What do you call metal? What do you call Metal Sonic in that case? Is he not a pile of metal? Ah, whatever. Let's just move on to the next one. At least I'm assuming that's all the wisps we need to get. I mean, we'll probably find out as we go into our next thing, Aquarium Park, and... Can you agree that the Generations rewrites is at least better than this? I am admittedly conflicted on that, because... And oh, look at this! Before we get that, look at this! Isn't this just like Dragon Road? Remember Dragon Road from Unleashed, right? It's basically the same thing. But yeah, with regard to the Generations rewrite, I am conflicted, because... It's like, I know this is like patient zero for a lot of the, ironic Sonic writing, which everybody, has grown to really dislike, but... I think this may be one of the less egregious examples. At least I'd say so, at the very least. Oh, we get a new mechanic. We can push the box. Oh, look. You remember when Sonic used to spin? Now he can only do it in the context of just... In the context of simply pushing a box. I mean, I can definitely understand why some people would say that the Generations rewrite is better than this, but... Again, just, not sure if I want to go into it right, but I'll just say it at the very least. I feel at the very least this game still has a little bit of that, sincerity to it that the older games had, just, it's still there behind all the irony. It's still there in some way, shape, and form. I don't think it's necessarily until Lost World when it really kicks into high gear and becomes insufferable. It's just here, compared to, in the context of the games that came out, it was more so just a nice breath of fresh air. It's like, ooh, this is different compared to all the stuff we were getting in Black Knight. I mean, obviously the Black Knight stuff is what I prefer, but... I'd say, generally speaking, this was relatively harmless at the time still. I mean, obviously now it's just, in the context of what we got, it's just groaning-inducing just how wrong we were in that regard. So just, you know, thinking this was like some sort of one-off. It's just, ooh. You know, maybe we can get to something a little bit more simplistic, and then we just got something worse. I mean, saying that as well, it doesn't necessarily help that basically everything in Western media opted to think that this particular style of writing was kooky and funny and something that should be emulated ad nauseum. You know, just looking at the more recent Supergirl trailer, which has come out, and everybody's had their 10 cents about absolutely hating it. I mean, I've sort of been checked out of superhero movies for like ages now, so it doesn't necessarily affect me, but just looking at the trailer, I feel so tired. I feel so tired in all honesty, just seeing that sort of stuff, it really does sort of remind me about just seeing a lot of the more ironic humor in Boom and just missing that sense of sincerity. Do I think Flynn is necessarily the sort of person to bring that back? Not really, but... I will admit, just, maybe Shad Gen is a sign that it can be done, but me personally, I just opt for the just going back to Japanese writers in all honesty, because it feels as though they tend to do sincerity better with regards to this series. At least that's how I feel. Because again, we get stuff like, you know, Adventure 2, where they figured, oh, you know, this is going to be the last one, we may as well just go all out and end this in a way that everybody's going to remember, and obviously Adventure 2 is a game that everybody remembers and beloves to this day. And I don't think that's necessarily going to be the case for Colors, I'm going to be honest. I think it's more so the case of people are going to look back and be like, oh yeah, that was pretty good. But not quite as sort of a big watershed moment for this series like Adventure 2 was. Then I'm going to can't help but wonder, what do you think was the last watershed moment for the Sonic series? part of me just wants to say 06. But given all the stuff that is referenced in the movies, like, it really does feel like Adventure 2, considering that was the last one to be on consoles. Then everyone, I guess it just sort of feels like all the games after that weren't as impactful, as it were, because again, they were just multi-platform stuff, just logged in with all these other amazing games, as opposed to just being the one game for the one system. Well, I mean, it's definitely something that I've felt for some considerable time with regards to the Sonic series. That the last proper Sonic game to have sort of big sort of cultural impact was Adventure 2. And part of me kind of wishes that we get something... I suppose the main hope would be that if we get some new stuff in the series, maybe we will get another iconic moment to be on par with Adventure 2. Because something tells me this isn't going to be it. Because, just to put it mildly, I can't see a Sonic movie being based entirely off of colors. That's just me, though. Also, I'm about to die. Yep, just casually just drowning. Luckily, I didn't even get a checkpoint there. Lucky me. I do find it kind of interesting that this level in particular just has an actual, just entire different song dedicated to the Drill Wisp. It's like you get Underwater Drill Wisp to go along with the normal Wisp. Also, ow. Ow. Well, so much for that red ring, I guess. I'll just continue playing. Screw you, game. But just with the aesthetics, this really does definitely remind me of Dragon Road. You know, I mean, obviously it's going for more Japanese as opposed to Chinese, but... just that sort of oriental aesthetic, along with all the water and running along stuff, just... really brings me back to Dragon Road from Unleashed. What game would I want a remaster of? That's an interesting question, because I'm guessing... Yep. I had a feeling that there was a red ring behind all that. Do appreciate at the very least they leave an indication of this is where you're supposed to use the Rocket Wisp, you dummy. Because this is definitely the sort of thing I wanted to do in Sonic, just all this precision stuff. That's definitely what we played for, not the pinball bouncy fun stuff. Anyways, in terms of games I'd want to see remastered, I mean, honestly, I'm fine with them just leaving it as is, because I remember them saying that, with how much effort it would take for them to remaster or, remake a game, they could just make something new, but honestly, given how a lot of the remasters have gone, especially Colors Ultimate, I'd be fine with there being no more remasters, honestly. But, assuming that there weren't, any technical issues on par with Colors Ultimate, Riders. Just, I want to see Riders again. Oh yes, we're not going to Gameland this time. What do you think of that? Instead, we're just going to carry on. At least I don't think there's any more wisps we need to worry about, which is it's just the 7. It's just the 6. Oh, Act 4 already. Let's see where this one leads. Alongside a massive tentacly with jittering. Now we have, it seems that we have ourselves a nemesis for this particular part of the game. Let's... game. I have sort of been Oh, there we go. Sort of been in the one mind with regards to this game that... I mean, the sort of joke is this is labeled as a 3D game, despite the fact that it's very obviously mostly 2D, but... I've sort of been of the mind that most of the 3D sections could be classified as 2D anyway, because of they're quick step sections. It's 3D in the same way that some Klonoa segments are also 3D. I guess I'll die, I guess. So much for getting that red ring. I think it's this level where I remember there being a few red rings which were definitely quite annoying to get. At least I remember one aspect of Aquarium Park having annoying red rings. Well, screw me, I guess. Alright, remember to... I'll have to remember to do that. I'll have to remember to do that, because I know that you're all about your Kamen Rider references. I suppose I should ask in that regard. If someone were to get into Kamen Rider today, what sort of starting point would you recommend? Because you know, I will admit, barely know anything about Kamen Rider, but it definitely seems quite cool for someone who used to grow up watching early seasons of Power Rangers. I mean, not religiously, just whenever we were on holiday. Oh. I forget they also quite like those spiky, just navigating through slopes while surrounded by spikes. Just, I don't know. I will admit, in terms of a lot of the sort of level tropes a lot of these boost levels go through, like this, and especially Unleashed, I will admit, I'm not exactly a fan. Maybe it's just me being an old head, but definitely prefer more, I suppose, classic-oriented stuff. Ah, yes. Speaking of precision. How did that work? I didn't think that would just get me anywhere, but it worked anyway. So you could, I'll have to read that once I'm done with this level, unfortunately. Forgive me. Guessing that you're gonna need a whisk to get in there. I do kind of appreciate that at the very least, just straight up turning a lot of this stuff into puzzles. It's like, oh yes, you need to save the thing for this particular boss, otherwise you're not gonna be able to live. And oh yes, speaking of living, here's yet another one of these particular segments from Unleashed, where you're just being chased by a particular robot. It's invincible. Also nice that I couldn't boost there. Well, a good start. You can consider watching Krug if you don't mind dark themes, including on-screen deaths that are certain... Be more recently go. Alright. So just been thinking in general, I wouldn't... Especially after the Japan trip, I kind of do just want to get more into Japanese media as a whole. Because it feels as though I've just been missing out a fair bit. That and it's just generally better. Because it's like, oh look, you can look at our recent Marvel or Star Wars thing, which arguably is probably just going to be horribly written and horribly acted and horribly directed, or you could just watch a whole bunch of this Japanese stuff, which is cool and you missed the first time around. It's like, oh. Well, it's been a while since I've been into one of those capsules. Just where the hell have you been this whole time? What does this mean for the future? Probably nothing. Rob isn't on YouTube. Oh. So you can just see a whole bunch of this stuff on YouTube. That's good to know. That's good to know. Just a quick sip of my tea. Feeling better already. Opting this time for green tea with Moroccan mint. I mean, you could say that it's probably not the best for you, considering it's from California, but well, at least the brand is. At least the brand is from California, so you have all that baggage. But at the very least, I have found it's been a good means of lifting my mood a fair bit. So probably should have just been drinking this whole weekend. Oh, here we go with... Yep, here we are. Once again, with the peak of Sonic level design. Isn't this just what we all wanted from a Sonic level? Just an auto-scroller where you're just bouncing on a spring constantly. Isn't this what we all wanted? You know, no fun pinball mechanics, no just dodging through enemies or obstacles, just spring. Have fun, you prick. Kamen Rider Gears is on YouTube. Yeah, I'll probably have to look into that one. Who knows, maybe it'll be a good thing to peek into when I'm at work. Probably not a good idea, but you know, it's something to while away the hours. Yeah, just generally I can't help but feel fairly certain I've said this before already, but this game just seems to have a lot of the symptoms of fantastic. It's like, you're supposed to follow me everywhere, Spring, and yet when I decide to go on ahead, you make up your mind, Spring. Somehow didn't expect that. Oh. Sometimes I don't necessarily expect a lot of this stuff to work when I do it, but it sometimes just does. I mean, honestly, this whole Moroccan mint thing, unless I find something better eventually, this is probably just gonna be my default drink from now on. Gonna be honest, because it's nice, and honestly, it puts me in a good mood when I have it. Which is kind of weird, honestly, considering I'm pretty sure most people would just be championing just standard British tea, but you know, the classic English breakfast tea. You know, your good old Earl Grey, your English breakfast, all that. But honestly, it may just be me being there weren't even anything shooting projectiles there, it looks like, but it may just be me being paranoid, but just seeing through a whole bunch of those, just various videos on YouTube, where it's like, oh, you shouldn't be eating or drinking this, it's full of microplastics, and honestly, given the nature of tea, I don't think, at least the stuff we get, just, you know, good old PG tips, I don't think it's necessarily worth the potential poisoning. Because taste-wise, it's kind of eh, to be honest. Kind of eh. Just the minty taste-wise, I just think is a lot better. And it also has the caffeine, which is the most important thing. I think that's also why it helps lift the mood. Just I'll have to check as to whether or not it actually has more caffeine, because I will admit there has been a few instances where maybe I had a little bit too much and I could feel heart stuff going on. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily anything to worry about too much. It's just something I couldn't help but notice when teaming it with just like 2 bottles of Lucasade at the office, because they were just giving them away. And I was just like, I know, I probably need energy to get through the day at the office, don't mind if I do, and that probably wasn't worth it. Oh, I can't help but feel that you end up drowning far too quickly in this game. I mean, I do definitely like the orchestral depiction of this particular track, but at the same time, it's just, it happens far too quickly for my liking. Also, I'm not entirely certain as to whether these fish actually have any sort of deeper mechanic behind them, but I do appreciate them being here nonetheless. It's a cute detail. I think they shield you from damage, at least it looks like it. This way, I think. It's just like you see here, if you go through all these various paths, you get to see all the red rings and all these bonus areas that you get to go through, and you know, maybe we'll see a fair bit more of it when I come back here again, because I do have a plan for when I eventually get to the end of this, because I do have a complete save file with stuff to show. And oh hey, it's Dragon Road again, you remember? You remember? It's that bit again, also that particular segment that we're coming up to. I can't help but feel that Generations does the same thing as well, where it just takes various aspects from previous levels and just recycles them. Like this whole thing. Just platforming over a stream of, well, in this case it's water. I'm pretty sure this whole thing was also redone in Crisis City as well. In Generations, where instead of water it was lava. You know, just had these small footholds going over a body of liquid. I mean, I think that's a fairly shallow comparison, but it's something I couldn't help but notice back when I was a kid. Thanks a bunch, game, for just, giving me boosts and then expecting me to just not use it. I'm guessing there's a... yeah, it looks like there's a zip line that you need to take. Ah, an actual combat sequence in the Sonic game. It's just... I think that's another thing as well. I did end up watching a video earlier on in the weekend, just with regards to combat in the Sonic series and how it's not necessarily a good fit. I mean, I'm personally of that impression as well, just... I feel as though the more sort of combat-oriented you make the Sonic series, I mean, obviously Colors is not the best example of that, considering there isn't really much combat here at all, but... it's like, with regards to adding combat to the series, it's like... I think a good example is basically just trying to make a hot dog into a cupcake. It's like, you can try it, and you can potentially succeed at it, but... in doing so, you just lose so many of the core fundamentals that it's barely recognizable as the original cupcake anymore. Or the hot dog, in this regard. Mostly with regards to the fact that the main series is just... I know, hey, it's another thing where we're just at the mercy of a whole bunch of terrifying sea creatures. How about that? Do like Ryuki in case you... yeah, that's definitely something I'll have to keep an eye out for. And, you know, remember once this whole thing is over. Thanks. Take care. Take care, I drop. It's time for another boss. It's time. We're flying through these quite quickly again.
Man, running past all those fish put me in the mood for sushi. I doubt Eggman had the decency to put
20 minutes per episode. Good. Gotcha.
Ladies and gentlemen, try the newest dining experience here at Eggman's incredible interstellar amusement park, the bucket of sushi. Now,
You gotta wonder what it was previously. I mean, saying that, we did actually go to a sushi place whilst we were in Japan. We didn't have much there, but we did see the conveyor belts, and generally thought it was pretty neat. Probably not the highlight in terms of the stuff we ate there. That would probably be the highly expensive Wagyu place we went to, but it was still pretty great. Or the food tours. The food tours were great. Also, yeah, that particular bit that Sonic was trying to do. So much for being awkward talking to robots. But yeah, that whole thing right there, that's probably one of the more insufferable jokes in the series. Just, at least in terms of the game, just one of the more insufferable jokes in the game. Mostly with regards to the fact that Sonic just never shuts up. It's just like, okay, we kind of get it. It's funny because you said clobbering. You can stop now. Okay, I think I remember how this particular boss fight goes. I think. It's like you got a Mistle slowly approaching you, and you gotta get to the end and have the mist. You gotta have the Mistle blow up the thing. In your own time. At least I'm pretty sure that's how this works. Hello? I'm just sort of stood here waiting. At least I'm fairly certain that's how this is supposed to go. There we go. That's it. Follow me all the way to the ends of the earth. There we go. Yeah, it's basically just the same as the Sweet Mountain boss, except now it's got water. Okay. Okay, so you do have to hit him with the drill. Get over here, you. Jeez, he's smoothing. Look at him go. He's just not stop. Oh, there we go. I was gonna say he's just not stopping at all. I mean, I kind of want to say this is probably one of the better designed boss types in this game, mostly because it's basically just an assault course you're going through until you get a chance to hit the enemy. I think that sort of boss design is generally probably one of the better concepts for Sonic boss fights in the series, because honestly thinking about it, if I had to pick out what I'd say is probably the best boss fight in the series, it would I'd probably just say Perfect Chaos from Generations. And that's basically just what it does. It's basically just a level. And it's interspersed with the boss hitting you with hazards and you hitting it occasionally. At least this one is a bit challenging to... Yeah, there is also that. There is also that. Alright, let's go and hit the boss again, if I can find him. That's it, just hits him in the boots. And, oh, only 2 hits. Well, at least we don't overstay the welcome. Is that at the very least? Ah, yes, we were just getting done with Aquarium Park jokester. And we get to see more funny dialogue with the Bucketo Sushi. So much good stuff we had on those food tours, man. Just... It's one of those things where I do definitely want to go back to Japan again at some point, but something tells me that's not going to be the case. That's not going to happen.
Well, I'm totally pleased. And a little nauseous. I grabbed a bite at the Bucketo Sushi.
What's the verdict?
His cruelty knows no bounds.
You know, it's funny as well, because the Wagyu place we went to near the end, just, that's also one of the things we had on there as, basically, we just had a whole bunch of different types of meats that we could try out, just putting them on this grill thing and cooking them to our liking and then eating them with various types of dips. I feel it would be better if boss took more than 5 to 7 hits. I mean, I definitely say these bosses are better than the ones in Superstars, but that's not really saying much. But yeah. I find it funny because one of the things we had in that sort of selection of Wagyu cuts we had was awful. And it was actually quite good. I mean, obviously it was chewy like rubber boots, but it was still surprisingly good. I mean, granted, I was probably the only one there who actually tried it and finished it. Mostly because I guess everyone else there didn't necessarily like the chewiness, but hey. I quite liked it. Also, technically speaking, we tried natto. Or more specifically, natto in an omelette, and... honestly, with the way it tasted, with the saltiness of it, definitely brought to mind Marmite. Natto definitely seems like the Japanese equivalent of Marmite, to be honest. You know, it's sort of, love it or hate it, particular sort of metric. I mean, I don't necessarily mind Marmite, it's more so just how you apply it, because Obviously, most people would just say, just use it like ketchup, or just, you know, just have it as is, but I think the best actual application for stuff like Marmite is just as an ingredient in various other sauces and whatnot, because I think we've had in, like, the sauce for cottage pie before, and that worked out. It's basically an umami booster. I think that's a good way of explaining Marmite's sort of best application is as an umami booster. Anyways, here we are back in Asteroid Coaster. Stuff has been so uneventful so far that I could just talk about food the whole time. No, not ketchup and natto. I mean, eating Marmite or natto like it's ketchup. You know, just basically just using it as a dip for chips and sausage rolls and whatnot. I mean, I say that. I'm not entirely certain as to whether they would have had sausage rolls in Japan. I mean, maybe it's sort of a novelty thing, because, you know, hot dogs and whatnot. Just, not in the sort of British fashion, where it's just, you know, sausage wrapped in puff pastry with some seasoning, maybe, if you're lucky, simple as. That sort of sausage roll. Oh yeah, and isn't this kooky, messing around with gravity once again? I mean, you say ketchup and natto. Somebody has got to have tried that at some point, right? Just to point out that, yeah, this was an awful idea. I think this there is some particular levels in Asteroid Coaster as well, which are... Oh. I realized too late that that was a bottomless pit. Thanks, game. I mean, I suppose it did try to warn me, so I guess it's just mostly on me. Oh yeah, have I heard of Outcome Memories? I mean, I've definitely heard about it, just, haven't really interacted with that much, but mostly just because I'm not really interested in a lot of the creepypasta stuff, to be perfectly honest. Like, I know, you know, all the, ooh, Sonic EXE climbing through the computer to drink your Pepsi or something, I don't know. Honestly, just never have been a big advocate for a lot of that horror stuff. I know that it's popular, mostly just with the kiddies in the Friday Night Funkin' community. Because for some reason they felt inclined to bring it back for some reason. Yeah, I don't really get that. Just, what is it with Friday Night Funkin' and creepypasta? Might have mayonnaise and donuts. I mean, I'm sure savory donuts exist. Oh yeah, that's right, I did have a savory donut while I was in Japan. I think it was like with bacon and whatnot, and I think it actually did have mayonnaise on it. Just savory bacon with like eggs and... Yeah, savory donut with eggs, bacon, and cheese. Possibly mayonnaise as well. It was definitely an experience. I just think mostly the thing that threw me off about it was the bacon, just the chewiness of it, because it was cold bacon. Cold, chunky bacon, which I know some people would probably be into, but personally I definitely prefer the more crispy variations of the bacon, to be brutally honest. Oh, it was springs here this whole time. Please tell me I'm not going to be stuck here for the rest of my life. It's like, I want to get to the end of this so I can sing the funny song now that I'm in a better mood, and this isn't helping me in the slightest. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and sort of deride people for liking outcome memories, obviously, because that's kind of dumb. I'm just going to say, yeah, have fun with that. I'm just going to be over here with crossworlds and whatnot. I almost had it. Ah. Why is this level doing this to me? I'm fairly certain the end of the level is just like right up ahead as well. This is... There's nothing, there's just this bottomless pit here. I just realized there was a checkpoint here as well. I died for nothing. Let's see. Oh. 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 Alright, Chain of... I mean, I was considering streaming RE Chain of Memories, or at least Chain of Memories at some point, just, generally speaking, just kind of ended up doing it a little bit too late, unfortunately, because obviously I was more into wanting to do Kingdom Hearts 2 for the 20th anniversary. I mean, I guess I could do RE Chain of Memories as well, considering that's probably going to be coming up to 20 years old as well. Again, just me and my terrible timing as usual. And the coal ring was right there the whole time. No, not RE Chain of Memories, Outcome Memories. It's a Sonic creepypasta thing. I think, as far as I'm aware, the best comparison would be Dead by Daylight, where it's just you're all working together to avoid basically creepypasta-esque killer sort of thing. Am I on the right track? Because it sort of feels like that's what it looks like to me at the very least, from what I've seen. Oh. Well, I guess this is going to be one of those short levels, isn't it? Oh, and of course we get the spring as well. We can't not have the spring in this level. Look at this. Of course, the main thing is just running back all the way as fast as you can in order to get... just to get the cube with that. I just realized, I don't think you can actually get many rings in this stage until later. Heard that RE Chain of Memories is a painful experience. I mean, I don't think it's too bad. It's just more sort of a case of you kind of have to have an idea of what you... You kind of have to have an idea of what you... You kind of have to have an idea as to what you're doing in order for it to work. There we go, I got it to work. Okay, so we have two different routes we can go this time. Let's do spikes. Since we got it, let's do spikes first. Let's see where this leads. All the way up here. Ah. So it's like a choose your own adventure. It's like a goddamn choose your own adventure game in here. Get that and one up, I think. One up, I think. Okay, I'm guessing that's it. Alright. It'd be nice if I could go in the direction I wanted to go, game. I wanted to go this way. Just go all the way back here, cast cube, and I guess we just have to wait. Not really Dead by Daylight doesn't really allow you to fight back in Outcome Memories. Okay, so it's Outcome Memories. No, not Outcome. It's basically Dead by Daylight, but better. That's pretty cool. I mean, again, obviously not exactly my cup of tea, but I can definitely see the appeal at the very least. Okay, I guess we're just skipping the rest of that level, I suppose. I know that's probably one of the more experimental levels in this, to be honest. Don't really mind it all that much. we're only on Act 4 already. I mean, this is going by quite quickly, to be honest. Just a lot of these oh, it's this level. It's this level where all you do is go around in a circle. It's like, hey, you remember the Motobugs from Starlight Carnival? Here, we have a whole level dedicated to them now. Ain't that kooky and funny? I think it's mostly just a case where you have to hit the switch in order to progress. At least I think there's a switch. Yep, just gotta kick all of them, by the looks of it. I don't want to keep my eye out for any red rings. I mean, they're not hard to spot, it's just... Oh, I saw that switch over there. I see what you're trying to get at, game. Look at this. Look at all these rings I now get. And I think that's the one instance of us actually getting all 5 red rings in a single level. And it's the one without Wisp. And look at that, S rank! Arguably one of the easiest levels in the game. Is that how Sonic can drop dashes, stun the killer, and then peel out faster than can...
What is this place?
Oh, I see.
This is where he converts them
So it's like everybody has a role.
negative aliens with the freaky energy.
Oh, there you are. I thought I lost you for a second. Did you find anything interesting?
Haha, isn't it funny? Tails didn't notice any of the hellish stuff in here.
Thousands of aliens.
Don't worry, we'll get him out.
Sonic, I haven't seen Yacker for a while.
You'll have to
Oh, if only there were more cutscenes in this game, or, you know, more story, then maybe I'd have a reason to care. Because otherwise, Yacker is just here to exposit and then disappear. They're all getting put in there to make more Nickelodeon gack. Even yeah, it's like Death by Daylight, except good. Anyways, time for... We're only halfway through this. Alright, let's soldier on, let's soldier on. We're nearly there, just a few more levels. Because I remember the Asteroid Coast ones being arguably some of the more experimental ones, like here. You got all these Mario-style heat bars which you have to rotate manually in order to get them to open up so that you can proceed. Waka waka! Alright, laser, I think we can just bring that over here by the looks of it. Yeah, like that. That was kind of cool to pull off, actually, not gonna lie. And, that wasn't so cool to pull off. Yeah, it's kind of weird, because I hear a lot of people talk about outcome memories, just haven't really paid that much attention to it, because, again, creepypasta, not my wheelhouse. And that being said, I don't necessarily hear all that many people talking about Sonic EXE anymore. I'm guessing the fad just sort of finally tapered out. I mean, there's a whole bunch of other variations I know, like I constantly see YouTube AI slop thumbnails of something called Shin Sonic, whatever that is. Looks kind of dumb, to be honest. And all these different variations of Sonic EXE as well, just... Part of me can't help but feel it's sort of run its course. Maybe it's just me not really paying all that much attention, to be honest. Again, feel free to enlighten me in the comments. Oh, the gold ring was right there. And, oh, just another S rank. Okay, game. Definitely felt as though I earned that. Have I had sushi before? What's my favorite fish? That's a good question, because I feel as though I haven't had enough fish to really say, but... In terms of one of the seafood places where we had sushi and sake on one of the food tours, I think it was the one in Ikebukuro. at least around that area. The tuna one we had was quite nice. Just this nice sort of tuna which went well with, I think it was wasabi. Just a lot of good stuff in there. Like the crab croquettes as well. They were molten hot, but damn good. Alright, last act of Planet Drool where kids rule. Let's do this. Let's do this. Feeling better already. It's like I'm sort of laughing. It's weird. I mean, generally speaking, outside of a few of the hiccups of level design, this hasn't been as egregious or just absolutely as tedious as something like Superstars. I mean, that's kind of a low bar, but generally speaking, I haven't necessarily had all that much issue. It's just 100%ing it seems to be where a lot of the issues start to crop up, from my experience. I guess it's sort of like Mario Sunshine in that respect, except it's probably not as bad, because there's nothing like there's no pachinko machine, to the very least. There's no pachinko machines and no annoying blue coins to make everything completely unbearable. You know, think about it as well. Kind of surprised in hindsight that story-wise, it feels like Aquarium Park doesn't really add much. It really just sort of feels like a bit of a filler level, in all honesty. I know, hey, speaking of Aquarium Park, here's the water. Here's the water. It's all about grabbing life by the conkers. And then just dying from caterpillars. How many worlds are left? After this, there's just one more with 2 levels to it, and then we're done. It's still a short game, all things considered, as Sonic games tend to be. It's sort of why I commented last time that I'm not certain that's whether they're the best thing for streaming, at least as a one-and-done thing. Like, if you're streaming it like a whole bunch of times, just different playthroughs, different modifiers, just trying to go for various different challenges. And I think it's a little bit more conducive to streaming, but just as a one-off, I don't think it's necessarily the best thing in terms of material, because you tend to just go through it quite quickly. Oh, I think I screwed myself there. My frenzy is gone. What have I done to it? What did you do to me? I do gotta wonder what a lot of this stuff is on the ground here. Just the green stuff. Is it supposed to be magma? Is it supposed to be like acid? Is it mountain? Is it Boogie's Mountain Dew? What is it? I'm kind of curious now. What is the molten Nickelodeon gack I see before me? Oh, see, I remember this one remember this being particularly annoying. Just trying to stay on the platform here. Like, look at this. It's just so difficult to control. Oh, I see you there. I think that must mean we're getting near the end. I remember this particular level having a mini-boss to it, of some kind of description. Yeah, I think we're starting to get there now. Like, this thing. What has a sort of, it has a mini hadron. It's a mini hadron collider. It makes black holes. And then you just kill it, and then you go to the end of the level. I think it's down here. Or is there an... Oh, there it is. Yeah, that didn't take too long. Robotnik No, he didn't make the planets. It was, stated earlier on in the game back on Planet Wisp that he basically just dragged these planets from all across the universe with basically a big tractor beam. And they're held in place with the same sort of chains as in Sonic CD because reference. Like, you can see the chains there. It's just like Sonic CD. That's how his tractor beam works. We're about to turn this one off. Time for the last boss. Well, second to last boss.
What you're doing to my friends in there. It's messed up. That's right. I'm stretching. You got a problem with
I don't think that thing has a voice. It can't respond. I don't think it even has like robo brain. It's just devoted to carrying out Robotnik's instructions. I'm pretty certain it. Also, look at those water effects in the background. What is going on there? It just looks so goopy.
You guys don't talk much, do you?
Yeah, maybe you should follow their example. You blue banana-headed prick. Anyways, boss time. Hopefully my Wii U can withstand it.
And start wailing away. Just don't be surprised when it warps. Find it again and blammo!
Blammo! That's what I call riding shotgun. Yeah, it's basically just the same as the other boss we fought, except now you have access to more wisp power, so... I guess it's more interesting in that... Like, here, we got rockets. Let's see what happens when I go up to it and try to cast rockets. Rocket just felt like ice sleep. Oh, what's that? 2D section? It's like 3D section, ice sleep. 2D section, woke. Yeah, I think that's bound to hurt. Oh, now he's angry. Look at him. He's an angry thing. You think you dropped enough there? You think you dropped enough stuff? And I'm still just completely wailing on him. Just, I mean, I guess this is a somewhat interesting way for them to try and rectify Sonic bosses generally not being the best. Just make it into a running segment. But, as you probably know from my old and Lee streams, that doesn't necessarily work most of the time. There we go. Oh, the robot manatee. That is a pretty nice background, though, I will admit, and still no S rank for that, huh? Ah, well. Well, that's all 6 worlds. We're basically almost done here. Oh, almost difficult, as though there were no stakes to the story at all. Except that he really could have.
Some kind of reward.
Yeah, let's go to an amusement park or something.
All right, but one that's, you know, less evil.
Sonic, that wasn't that funny.
So, are all the aliens getting free?
Looks like
What were we even running on? Magic, hopes, and dreams. I don't know.
okay.
I think you'll be fine. You don't think the weapon you were shot with still works?
Not without power flowing to it. I think
I mean, maybe he has enough. I mean, maybe he has enough for one shot, but I think that's about it. Unless we get like surprise boss fights, like we're in the final boss or something. I think we're good. And there we go. The chains are broken. The shackles are broken. Just give it a little bit. Also, yeah, can't help but worry. Just massive fiery reactor in the middle of that amusement park. Surely that would bring up some health and safety. I mean, then again, it's Robotnik. It probably doesn't matter. Is that like a sun in there or something? Let the shackles be released.
with all the generators destroyed, we can blow this joint and head home. We did it, dude.
We? I don't remember you fighting off any insane robots.
True. Well, good job to you on inventing a translator that allowed us to speak to the aliens and figure out exactly what we needed to do so we weren't running around the park.
I mean, you say that, Tails. I mean, it was fairly easy to understand. Just massive chains in the sky. It's like I could have easily figured this out by myself, man. You were kind of useless this whole time. You're kind of superfluous. You're just really here because I need someone to talk to because we need cutscenes in this game for some reason.
I think we're in the middle of a party.
The middle? We are the party. I think we're their guests of honor.
Kind of a lame party, to be honest. No food, no drinks, and the only babe just left. And there we go, last level. Last world. That's... Okay, so it is 7 wisps in hand.
Critical system failure. Repeat, critical system failure. All attraction access is temporarily suspended. Please evacuate the park via the emergency exit ahead. This is all your fault.
Yep. Let's do it. Let's do it. Cutscene first.
That fool Sonic thinks he's won because he destroyed all my generators. Well, the mind control cannon is full enough for what it has to do. I will have the last laugh.
The last laugh? How is laughing last special? Isn't that like being the...
Shut up, please.
I laugh last all the time. People look at me like I'm an idiot. Forget about
You're not funny.
That's because you are an idiot.
Is it the... We're nearly at the end. We're nearly at the end.
You talking to
Just have the final levels to get through.
There's nobody else here, so I must be talking to you. Why haven't we fixed your voice chip yet?
Yo, quit busting my batteries over here. I've been working on it all day.
What does that even mean? Oh, never mind.
Oh yes, because this joke was apparently worth keeping this whole time. And just...
Only one thing.
What was wrong with just a button? Why you just need this massive evil-looking lever for this whole thing? What was wrong with just a button? It's like, oh, remember that arm from the start of the game, from when we beat the first boss? Give it a second. I mean, it's like, oh, remember that scene from the start of Unleashed where he had this massive, giant, not at all suggestive looking laser to shoot the planet into several pieces? Well, so much for that, I guess. Also, yeah, why does the moon keep getting this sort of... Yeah, the moon takes a direct hit. This, the moon takes a direct hit, and this has no apparent effect whatsoever.
No, this can't be happening. It's backfiring. Impossible. How? Ta-da!
Yo, what do you mean impossible? Your plans have been crushed by Sonic for like... ever.
It's like they completely forget Sonic Riders and Adventure 2 happened.
Can't remember a plan he didn't stop.
What are you talking about? He hasn't stopped all of them.
Name one.
Adventure 2, Riders.
Read the attention panel.
Oh, it sounds even worse now.
My voice, it's back! All right! There's the sweet sound by auditory processors new and live.
You're the only one.
I remember why we changed his voice chip.
You know, you could have easily just made it so he doesn't have a voice chip. You could have easily done that, or, you know, just not built them and just focused on Sage. Whatever. Going off to the final boss. And here we are. There's only like 3 levels here, technically. Well, two mostly. Just, let's just get into this one, like the only proper level here.
Hey, Tails.
Yeah?
I got a bad feeling about this.
Oh, you don't say. You don't say.
When I feel the ground shaking under my feet and see plumes of dust rising and rubble...
You know, that's and the, corrosive purple fumes rising up into the sky.
How about you and me look like Eggman's hairline and recede?
This isn't joke time. This is running to the space elevator time.
Japanese dub time?
Out of here.
Yeah, I'm running now.
Not quite yet, not quite yet. Don't worry, we'll get to it, just, figure I want to do most of this with the English dubs, just so we can see just how good the humor is. It's just totally not drawn out and tired at this point. I mean, again, probably was more acceptable at the time, 2010, when this sort of humor was in sort of vogue and new and hip and interesting, but nowadays it's just... Please stop. Kind of have to focus here, to be honest. It's like, oh yes, finally, a sort of challenge, and honestly, I feel this is probably one of the cool-looking levels in the game. Mostly just really reminds me of a lot of stuff like Egg Rocket and whatnot. You know, a little bit of Final Rush in there. It's neat, it's cool. I like these sort of levels. Even if it is still arguably all in 2D because it's quick-stepping. You know, that's the sort of thing that's, again, mentioned previously, just not really the biggest fan of how a lot of the quote-unquote 3D is applied in this game, because it is mostly just quick-stepping, and me personally, quick-stepping is just 2D with a different coat of paint. Because you're not really interacting in a sort of 3D environment, you're just interacting wholly in a 2D environment, that just being moving from side to side and jumping. There's no going backwards, there's no going... You can... Well, basically just only going forward, and it doesn't really matter in this sense. Also, I'm pretty much out to... I'm going to die. Well, you know, I could just keep doing this. Ah, yes. Definitely the most threatening of Robotnik's battens. He's gonna learn eventually, I'm sure. Oh, there we go. There we go. These Bolly dudes has become so overused. Writing style. Yeah, that's basically it. Just how overused it's become. It's just something that I'm sick and tired of hearing, as opposed to just having some level of sincerity. As I mentioned previously. Part where it runs from a black hole? We're not there just yet. We're not there just yet. We're getting there, though. We're getting there. Now it's time for a cutscene we're going to see twice. For reasons. Also, yeah, no red rings in this particular area.
Time to bail!
Time to bail!
It can't be.
And look at that, look at that, Eggman's the final boss. It's just like the classics, so... You like the classics, right? That means you gotta like this game as well.
So you can come back in.
I know you're trying to be clever with this whole amusement park pun thing, but it's just coming off lame. Just say you're going
Yeah, you know what is lame? You doing this whole separate...
Curse you, Sonic! Not only do you
Just this
avoid my
whole...
plans, but you
Just...
foil my speeches as well.
irreverent sort of, just downplaying everything, making it a joke. That's getting kind of lame. Just be sincere about it. Just take things seriously for once. Make me care.
Million times better. Thank you.
This robot is special. He's powered by the energy from your little friends. He is invincible.
I mean, how many times have you said about every other robot? Am I right, fellas?
I have to admit I'm a little scared. I don't think we can beat this guy.
See you on the ground, buddy.
Sonic, no!
As he flies in there in slow motion.
To do. As for you,
Well, suppose since we're here, there is a nice little detail about this final boss, which I kind of like, given all the hint rings we've been seeing throughout the whole game. If you just, wait for it. Yeah, he's breaking up. You're basically on your own here. But before that, we just, it's time. You all wanted to see me do this in Japanese, so we're doing it in Japanese, so... Sound, Japanese text. You know, just for this, we'll put it in Japanese as well, because why not? Probably gonna regret this later. Whatever. Let's do it. Fairly certain the writing here is a little bit better. Mostly just has to compensate for the fact that the English script was written first, so it's like you gotta have all the Japanese stuff. Try to work around all try to work around the horrible writing of the original. But here, Sonic's just mainly critiquing the fact that the amusement park sucks, as far as I'm aware. You know, looking at the retranslated script.
寝ないで考えたんじゃぞ。もう許せん。ひねり潰してやるわ。最後に笑うのはこのわしじゃ。貴様には笑わせん。
心配すんなよ。笑ってる場合じゃないぜ。
このアーマーは強いぞ。
But I think the general gist is mostly the same, it's just the dialogue is a little bit less unbearable. Maybe it's just me, though.
せいせいするわ。
今度は本当に強そうだよ。
Tails actually sounds cute here.
地上で会おうぜ。
待ってよ、ソニック。
See you later, Tails.
やり残したことがあるんでね。さあ、行くぜ。
Alright, let's roll. Time for boss. Boss. I think it's generally the same gist as there as well. And there we go, there's the Kamen Rider reference. And, yeah, he basically just uses evil versions of all the Wisp powers you've been using. Like, ooh. I mean, it's a fairly obvious way to, work the final boss, but... well, I mean, it is kind of cool. What are you going to do now, buddy? I mean, it's still fairly easy to work around, just, gotta hit him a couple times, then... let me hit you again, damn you! I guess he's working the sook. Well, there we go, actually combining powers now. Daring today, aren't we? Oh. Cuban laser, that was it. I thought it was doing spikes. Because that's what I'd see him normally use in that particular attack pattern. I don't think I've actually seen him combine Cuban laser before. That's kind of neat. Okay, okay, that's just Q, but... get over here, you. I don't think you actually need to boost throughout all this game at all. All this boss fight at all now that I think about it. So there we go. We're starting to get some of the powers back. You can no longer drill, I think. There we go, there's his laser, even though we have laser, so I guess... I don't know, I thought it would have been kind of cool if he actually lost some of his color powers as the fight went on. You know, since you're basically getting them back, but whatever, whatever. It's one of those instances where it feels cinematic, but gameplay-wise it's just kind of simplistic. There we go, there's the main theme. It's like, I will admit, the writing at this point has been kind of insufferable, but this last bit with the music just... will admit, kind of beautiful. It's like, this is the sort of stuff I was looking for this whole game. Look at this. It's like I'm actually feeling something. Who would have thought that in this game? Get over here, you. I think we're getting there nearly. There we go, just one more left, I think. What have you got left, Robotnik? Look at all my color power. I just figured, how can I possibly voice this in a way that actually makes it sound better than the writing is normally? And I'm not sure I can do it, well, honestly, without making it... Alright, it's time to finish this, Robotnik. What you were saying about invincibility? Here we go, then. Maximum drive! Taste the rainbow, mother fluffer! Yeah. I'd say this is definitely the highlight of the game. That was pretty damn great, gonna be honest. Still no A rank, still no S rank though, huh? Ah well. Next. Alright, have to watch this in Japanese as well. Shoot. Who turned out the lights? I don't think we're necessarily missing much, it's just ironic phrase about Robotnik being all about health and safety and it biting him in the butt. And oh no, the entire thing is getting enclosed in the black hole. What does this mean for the rest of the planet, though? And what does it mean when the whole sun up there ends up colliding with it? I guess not much. It's just massive black hole. This might not end well. This is the part where Sonic runs from the black hole. Also, yep, Act 2, which isn't really an Act 2. Look at that, we gotta outrun it. Also, I gotta switch back to English for this bit. Oh. Never mind, I guess. I was thinking, So, let's have a look here. There we go, English. Probably should have kept it English anyways, but whatever, whatever. Guess this means we're fighting the boss again. Just means of padding up the stream, but it's fine. We should just skip the cutscenes and do that whole thing over again. I didn't actually realize that you couldn't just quit out of Act 2. My bad. Well, we get to just do this again at the very least. Because, again, why not revel in the best part of the game? I know, Ravon, it kind of feels as though we've been here before. Do you ever get that feeling of deja vu? Shut up, Sonic, let me just kill you already! Yeah, since we're here, it definitely does seem kind of weird to me just how this particular boss fight sort of archetype just keeps getting reused. You know, not only just in Lost World with that particular, may as well call it a Death Egg Robot because that's basically what it is, but also just the final boss of Forces as well with its final phase, where it's just even uses a lot of the same attack patterns, like the laser. I don't think it necessarily does cube, though. You know, I'm probably not gonna end up getting, S rank here either, but... Oh, I guess this is how you do it. You just, spam it. The trick is to just spam it, right? Bosses are... Yeah. Which... I can at the very least appreciate. Just... Even if the boss fights aren't all that great, at the very least they're easy to do. I'm sort of the one person who prefers something easy but fun and hard, rather than hard and unfun, basically. Get over here, Robotnik. Damn it, I missed my attack window, no! How can I possibly survive in this particular environment? Ah. You know, he's using his, using all his armaments in ways that are creative. I can at the very least appreciate that. Get over here, you. It's time to show you what we do. I suppose, speaking of boss fights, I heard of some people who think at least in 2D respects, the best boss fight is arguably the one for Casino Nights, considering it actually uses a lot of... It actually uses Sonic's actual mechanics of, you know, using slopes and momentum and whatnot, as opposed to just being trapped in a box and just hitting the guy 5 times. You actually have to use the curves in order to get up to him, and... Honestly, if it's not just chasing or being harassed by the boss throughout a level and then getting chances to hit him intermittently throughout the level, I'd say that's a decent idea to just mix things up. I mean, the main problem is that I'm not entirely certain how you really get much in terms of, you know, cinematography and spectacle from that. I mean, I guess, the Perfect Chaos example is an example of that just done perfectly right. I mean, it's definitely still easy, and personally I don't really like the final phase, where it's just more platforming over bottomless pits, but all things considered, aside from that sort of little nitpick on my end, I think the Perfect Chaos boss is generally just the best example of that done well. Alright, here we are again, Robotnik. You horrid little hedgehog! Alright, here we go once again with maximum drive. Taste the Skittles or whatever. Looks like Team Eggman's blasting off again! Wow, I actually did worse that time. Ah, whatever, whatever. It's done. We just have one last level to do. And then we're done.
My head! Who turned out the lights?
Yeah, this whole scene just makes me wonder how cursed Robotnik must look without his mustache. And then he somehow survived this and went on to find the Time Eater. And we may as well just sit through this again, considering we're doing English voice cast this time. FDA, you won this round.
This might not end well.
Oh, really? You think? Just... That's your reaction for being chased by universe-ending super death ball. Good to know. Haha, very funny. Right. Now we just have to avoid falling to our death here. This basically just amounts to mostly quick-stepping. I mean, this particular rendition of the scene, this theme is definitely quite cool. Oh, well, that's it, basically. We're done here. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. No boost to save us this time, we're basically just Jed. Unless... Did anyone get the number of that black hole? Yeah, I feel, generally speaking, despite everything, this game does end on a good note, I feel. I can't believe it, the blue rat is dead. And he's just in a field somewhere. Looks like some sort of default Windows 7 background as opposed to the Windows XP one from 06.
Man, I can't believe you made it through that.
Tails, I can survive anything. That's the nature of these games.
I like you thought I wouldn't.
The only thing I was thinking about was getting pushed into an elevator.
What, bring back some trauma that I don't know about?
Do what a hedgehog's gotta do.
Oh look, he did the finger waggle just like in the classics. That means you must like this game as well.
Help during that last part.
And look at that, all the frenzy lists have been turned back into into goodens. I will admit, though, with regards to the final boss as well, I do definitely like how the DS version plays out, at least with regards to how it ends. Again, just a lot of that sort of spectacle, which you'd sort of expect from the series.
Thank you for saving us.
He says you are welcome.
That thing's translating pretty good.
Yep, I finally got all the kinks out. We can talk to them perfectly now.
Oh, finally, that joke's come to an end.
Oh, great. He says, goodbye, my friends. I have to go.
As if we couldn't tell that from the body language.
Better late than never, buddy.
I was like, again, Tails kind of feels superfluous in this game. Which is kind of a shame. It's like, I guess it's relatively harmless in the way of not having Sonic's stupid friends here, but it sort of generally feels as though Tails could have just not been in this game altogether, and not much would have necessarily changed. I mean, outside of just being there to demonstrate the mind control thing, but even then, I'm fairly certain there's some other way that could have been used, like, you know, having it actually hit Sonic and having him to live with the fact that he's been controlled by Robotnik for some point, but anyways. Now we get, Speak With Your Heart, which, honestly, I think it's this song in particular and just the ending, which generally just makes me feel, you know, maybe this game still does have a little bit of sincerity behind it. At least compared to stuff like Lost World, where it's just super cynical. At least here it's just, at least it feels there's a little bit of sincerity in here still. Also, I'm pretty certain I can just stand here. I will admit I don't exactly remember the lyrics to this, unfortunately. I do never like this song though, especially the one from Sonic Symphony. That one was just, especially the guitars, it's just great. Just good stuff all around. As opposed to the version in Colors Ultimate, which just makes you fall asleep. Will I be streaming Colors Ultimate? No. I mean, maybe I'll come back to this game at some point. Possibly. Can definitely see it in the cards at some point, but it's definitely not going to be Ultimate. I'll just point that out right away. Just generally don't feel a need to get it at all. That and it's one of those sort of infamously bad ones. Just, I will admit, when it comes to Colors Ultimate, Philly Son already mentioned this previously, but one thing I mostly felt was just vindication, because everybody kept ragging on the bad ports for Adventure 1 and Adventure 2. And now we get the bad port of Sonic Colors, and it's like, how do you feel now? How does it feel knowing that your favorite game is now seen as just being completely unplayable and terrible? Probably not a good mindset to have, but I couldn't help but feel that way, in all honesty. At least at the time when Colors Ultimate came out. Now it's just, can't help but feel a little bit bad, because it's like, man, the stuff in this game that I do kind of like, obviously not a game that I tend to go back to all that often, but for what it's worth, I can still have a decent time with it. And there they are, Quantek and Graph, the villains of the series. And there's Tomoyo Otani. Still prefer Jun Tsunoi, but you know what? He can put out a decent tune every now and then. Good. Yeah, thanks. So next week, I think I'm going to do something a little bit more, I suppose, on brand, considering it's basically the weekend before Christmas. I figure next stream, keeping it on the Wii, I'm going to be doing Mario and Sonic at the Winter Olympics. The Olympic Winter Games is where I'm finally going to stream it. But looking forward to that one, actually, because I remember having a lot of fond memories of playing that particular game. It's going to be interesting going back and playing it in full. fall apart. Speak with your heart. Yeah, I will admit. I kind of wish Cash Cash came back, actually. Just, I know that oh, there's Jun Samui. Yeah, part of me does kind of wish that Cash Cash came back, because I don't think they did after Generations, unfortunately. Because I know that they worked on the rendition of Big On that was in that game, which was fantastic. I mean, Jun Samui was working on that as well. But arguably one of my favorite boss fiends in the entire series, gonna be honest. Real colorful. So, I suppose, final thoughts on the game, just writing as bad as I remember. Then again, in terms of that, it's not exactly difficult to forget, but game-wise, part of me kind of feels that a lot of the praise this game got at the time was mostly just for the fact that it was competent. It's more so just the fact that it was competent rather than the fact that it was outstanding in any way, because honestly I would definitely say Generations is better. Just not really sure if I feel that greatly about the Wisp still, in terms of how they just replace Sonic's base abilities, and in all honesty the controls still feel a little stiff for my liking. As someone who is mostly used to stuff like Adventure 2, because it really just is an exemplary showcasing of Sonic controlling like a race car. And part of me kind of feels that it affects the 2D as well, just with how stiff it can feel jumping from left to right, as it were, or just precise platforming. I think you probably noticed it earlier, just having problems with precise platforming. Just generally feel that's where this particular game starts to suffer, and I remember particularly finding, when I went to 100% this as a kid, just finding a lot of the... Oh, there he is, Junichi Kanemaru, the legend. Generally couldn't help but feel that a lot of the precise platform was just super annoying when it came to trying to get a lot of the red rings. So generally speaking, it wasn't a game that I tended to go back to lots as a kid, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon, unfortunately. It's just, I mean, I'll probably come back to it every now and again, but generally speaking, it's not going to be really something that I do in my off time, as it were, compared to, you know, especially compared to stuff like Adventure 2. And then again, I feel as though I don't tend to revisit a lot of Sonic games nowadays, outside of, you know, Adventure 2, Adventure 1, maybe Heroes, maybe Shadow. Basically just the GameCube games and Crossworld more recently, because I'm gonna be honest, I have definitely been having a fair bit of fun with Crossworlds. It's generally been quite a solid experience. Oh, still going. SEGA of America ist wunderbar. At least, I do appreciate, I think this is the first game that actually features being able to interact with the credits in this manner, because I know that this was also the case in Superstars as well. I mean, it's not like it was something that they had to do, but I think it's more charming here, mostly just because the ending of this game is a lot more bearable compared to Superstars. Which, just a big Kamen Rider reference, I mean. I think that's mostly just because of the Japanese voice cast, but yeah, I found that to be quite a little fun little reference thing as a kid. Just, oh hey, this is Kamen Rider. I know nothing about Kamen Rider, but the fact that it's here is still kind of cool. One of those things that sort of makes me appreciate aspects of this game a little bit more. I mean, the only reason that I would potentially get Colors Ultimate is just to play this game with a retranslated mod, just so I could just play it with the Japanese cast and not have to worry about all the cringeworthy jokes. Because at least there I can imagine the writing's going to be a lot better. Also, where am I going? Translation inbound. SEGA Europe. Yes, we're getting closer to home, I think. I think I can just put the controllers down at this point. Trip was a cool new character. Just a shame we're never going to see her again, because she's basically going to be locked to classic purgatory alongside Mighty and Ray, because this whole classic modern split just really is one of the most egregious things about this whole game, this whole series, I must say, because I don't think anybody's necessarily going to mind a little bit of cross-pollination with regards to the 2D and 3D aspects, because, you know, I think a lot of people can understand that a classic Shadow is non-canonical, and I think most people generally just like to see more of Mighty, Ray, Team Hooligan, Trip, etc. just in the modern... Like, imagine if we did actually get, like, Mighty, Ray, Trip, and such in Crossworlds. I think a lot of people would definitely be a lot more happy with that, as opposed to, you know, SpongeBob. Also, some good old quality of life. Yeah, there's also that. I'm gonna be honest though, since we're reaching the end here, I think. With regards to what Sonic game I play after Winter Olympic Games, I'm not entirely certain what I'm gonna do. I mean, first thing that comes to mind is potentially... Oh, there. We're still going, we still got SEGA Germany. So Shadow was never... I mean... Technically speaking, when it comes to Adventure 2, I think physically he's like 1 year old. At most. Considering he was just on the Ark for like a short amount of time before he was sealed away. Yeah, I think I'll just have to look at the calendar real quick just to see... Oh, SEGA Australia, still going, still going. I mean, to be fair, to be absolutely fair with you, this still isn't as bad as the credits in Colors Ultimate, which just go on forever, and there's no way to skip them. And if there was a way to skip the credits in Colors Ultimate, that would also be quite nice, but... As is just... Oh, I think we're reaching the end. It's... Oh, NVIDIA. We can't possibly forget them. NVIDIA after all this time. Still so weird to see after this early on, just in like 2010. I thought it was weird back in like when I saw it in Black Knight, and it's even weirder here. SEGA Alcatraz. I mean, to be fair, I'm pretty sure that got blowed up in Adventure 2. Speak with your heart. Oh, I think we're reaching the end. I think we're getting there. I think we're getting there. Backing vocals by Kenichi Takemoto and Mika Arisaka and Kadri Sawada. Still not seeing any Jun Sonoy in here. Which is a shame. I really do want to see Jun Sonoy actually come back and compose one of these games. Just keep him away from a Genesis soundboard, and then we should be good. Okay, I think we're getting the courtesy of Universal Republic Records. Yeah, I think we're reaching the end finally. Osamu Ohashi, Yuki Sugino, executive producer. Okitane Usui. And there we go, there's the EOF, we're finally back. New game shows Station Square Alcatraz Island is still being rebuilt. Yeah, that's an interesting thing actually, just the fact that there's no real distinction of the sort of time gap between games. Because obviously Flynn was just like, oh yes, all these games take place over a single year, from like Sonic 1 to Frontiers. It's like, what sense does that make? Oh yeah, post-credit scene. Yep, he survives because he always survives, and not the fact that Sonic lets him live. He's just that stubborn. It's kind of weird that Pontek and Graf got this whole aspect of Robotnik's character right, and yet Flynn never does.
A certain someone got their voice back. I feel like my old self, although when he was
And here I was saying all these good things about colors, and then it all just comes crashing down because we have to get one more joke in.
Silence of space right about now.
Hey, I heard they started using fish. Bummer we didn't bring any with us. Not that we can eat it since we're robots, but we could have looked at it. I love looking at stuff. I love stuff. The fireworks show game was great. Hey, how did we get all this stuff to blow up like that anyway? Loved it. By the way, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And then they just happened to find the time meter out there, and Generations begins. It's kind of weird that this and Generations are like the two games which actually have like continuity to them, if that makes any sense. Anyways, since we're here, there's just one more thing that I wanted to showcase. I don't think we're going to be needing this save file anymore, unfortunately, so, goodbye. Goodbye, Emerald. Again. We're going over to my save file from back when I was a kid. All that time ago. And, yeah, we have all 180 red rings, and if we go over here... all the things have been gone, meaning if you go for all these, you get all the Chaos Emeralds, which means... Probably would have made a Portal Zuzu... Probably would have made an Portal Tuja with the Robotnik scene, but probably wouldn't have been a little too on the nose. I mean, I'd still say go for it, to be honest. I mean, no harm in it. Anyways, it's time. We're gonna go to Tropical Resort to showcase off the final parting gift, I suppose. We just need to get like 50 rings, and then we can do the do. With all this funny surfer dude music. Yeah, we'll admit, just going for a lot of these levels, especially the early ones. I can't really help but find it endearing. Can't help but smile a little bit. Maybe it's just the tea. But generally speaking, feeling a lot more upbeat now. Definitely glad I went through this, in all honesty. Oh wait, I just realized I didn't actually turn the thing on. That's my bad. Yeah, basically you just go over here to the satellites, and then you actually have an option of switching Supersonic on or off. You have this option because, from what I recall, it is actually easier to get S ranks using the Wisps. Must be because of the point. And look at that! There it is. There's the Super Saiyan. Let's try that again. Also, yeah, that's another funny thing. Just the fact that loading times for Colors Ultimate are a lot slower compared to the Wii game. Even when taking into account 06, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I've seen and heard at the very least, the load times for Colors Ultimate do rival 06 in terms of length. I guess Supersonic, yes, we get the Super Saiyan. We just need to unlock him. Well, more so just get enough rings to get him. And if you just go through here, unfortunately, when you have the Super Saiyan on, you can't use the Wisps. Which also kind of reminds me of a unused bit of dialogue in the final boss fight. Apparently, according to Robotnik, Hyper Gohan Energy is more powerful than the Chaos Emeralds. And I can kind of see why that was cut at the end of the day, because I kind of hate that. It's one of those things which just sort of... Well, shoot. It's just one of those things that, makes Supersonic all that less special. Because you could argue, oh, you can't have multiple characters having super forms. That just diminishes Supersonic, just like what happened with the Super Saiyan. But stuff like this just doesn't tend to help matters, in my opinion. I should probably find a better level for this, honestly, because I don't think level 1 is necessarily the best place to do it. I think the best place we can actually go for this was Starlight Carnival, actually. Let me go over there next. Let me go over there. Yeah, I think this is going to be better. I mean, saying that, it's Starlight Carnival, so it's not exactly going to be the most interesting. I do definitely appreciate that this level made it into Crossworlds, because it is definitely what I consider to be one of the more visually stunning parts of the game. Also, just need to take a drink real quick. Excuse me. Problem with that tea is it sort of dries my mouth out a little bit. Ah yes, truly the epitome of speed right here. Look how fast I'm going. Oh, there we go. And I think Starlight Carnival was generally one of the areas that I ended up replaying more often than not back when I was a kid, just because a lot more of the levels are generally fun compared to stuff like Asteroid Coaster. Yep, no messing around with Wisp this time. This time we're just doing it the old-fashioned way. We're doing it with the power of speed, and speed alone. We don't need Wisps in order to get through this. Mostly because they actually changed up the level design to make it possible for you to traverse it without Wisps. Yeah. I suppose that was considerate of them at the very least. There we go. Finally, the power of the Chaos Emeralds allows me to... So can't help but notice that it really feels as though rings drain pretty slowly here. Maybe it's just in comparison to Generations, where they just disappear almost immediately. Also, yeah, just free ring magnets. So you can just keep it going. Also, yeah, you just get point bonus for being in Supersonic to make up for the fact that you're in, just to make up for the fact that you don't get color powers, and thus you don't get score from using color powers. Yep. It's basically just invincibility and infinite boost. I mean, I suppose that's pretty much on brand for Supersonic, just, I will admit, doesn't necessarily seem the most interesting, in all honesty, in hindsight. Also, yeah, get used to this rendition of Reach for the Stars. It's sort of like the Super 4 music from Sonic 3. It just keeps looping ad nauseum. Ah. Well, shoot. Okay, I guess we'll continue the level as normal. Yeah, there's a spring here, so you can just skip this whole bit. I'm just gonna do this whole segment right here so that I get rings. So we can do a little bit more Super Saiyan fun antics. I'm wondering, can you actually... No, oh, you can wall jump off of these. It's like, where are we going now, game? Oh, yep, there we go. I'm at the top. Yeah, I'm fairly certain you get a red ring for doing this normally. Hold still, please. Alright, fine, I'll go this way. Yeah, definitely the most, most of a visual spectacle of a level, if I do say so myself. Alright, back to being Super Saiyan again, right as soon as we get to the end. And, yeah. That's basically that. I think that's gonna be all from me for now. Tune in next week when we do Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games. But until then, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye for now.